Can't do it. We'll do it live.
Okay.
Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live.
Good morning.
It's time to wake up.
This is Snowman in the Morning on the Arena Sports Network.
Did you not get the memo?
Let's get busy.
This is going to be one of those weeks, and I mean that in a very, very good way, especially with the news that y'all are going to hear this morning and also later on the ASN Digest as my voice decides to crack. Pardon me. And while that's going on, good morning! Off we go with another Snowman in the Morning on this Tuesday. And it feels like Christmas, doesn't it? Because, in a way, the tournament, the NCAA men's basketball tournament, blows wide open tonight with those, what they want to call play-in games. Yeah, that's what they call them. Anyway, that's how the tournament starts tonight. We hope that you get a chance to fill out your brackets and watch the Facebook page, Snowman in the Morning, Facebook.com/Snowman in the Morning, for a chance to enter our bracket bash. We got everything together. We will be posting it this morning. Abbreviated show again this morning because, as I told you, all the moves that are being made this week by the company, the meetings that I had went very, very well. In fact, maybe a couple of deals that will be closed this week, so got to stay on the grind, and that's what we'll do. Snowman in the Morning this morning, driven by U.S. Tire and Auto of Gary, Indiana. Call 219-884-4600. Mention that you heard us on the Arena Sports Network and get 10% off auto body work and get a great deal on some tires. Visit my buddy Dave McCann from 8 to 5 Central Time if you're in the Northwest Indiana or the Chicagoland area. Once again, U.S. Tire and Auto driving Snowman in the Morning this morning. Call 219-884-4600. It's all college basketball this morning. The number one seeds have been released, and I have a partner riding shotgun with me this morning, and you'll hear him after the first break, and quite honestly, I don't think he's too happy with the number one seeds, at least one of them in particular. You'll hear all of that. Congratulations to the UIC Flames women's basketball team. They will be participating in the WBI, and their first game is Wednesday against IPFW, and we will be there. Yours truly will have the call on the Arena Sports Network, 7 p.m. tip time, 6 o'clock pregame, as we'll take you an hour to tip off. All kinds of other stuff going on. My buddy Jeff Escow will ride shotgun with me for the remainder of the hour. After the first break, you'll hear Rusty Silber in a couple of moments. Later on this week, in particular on Saturday, the Marquette Catholic Blazers will continue their march toward Indianapolis as they play they play in semi-state against Liberty Christian. That game will start at high noon Central Time, 1 o'clock Eastern Time. And I get a chance to ride with the team because we're going to leave the night before. And also, speaking of teams, a new team is going to be introduced that we're going to cover next year. You'll hear more about that throughout the course of the week. I'm waiting for some music to appear, and the music hasn't appeared yet. Well, while that happens, if you're following along with us on Spreaker, log on to Spreaker.com, get a free account, and you can join us in the chat room. And I hear music. That means only one thing. This kind of music means it's time for Rusty's Morning Rap, and it's presented by TCF Bank. And I can't do this alone. Here's Rusty. Good morning.
Good morning, Brian. How are we doing this morning?
Doing good. Did you get any sleep?
Doing good. It's Tuesday, and everyone's anxious for the NCAA to get going, and everyone's got those brackets, as you mentioned, filled out. I got mine filled out. I've got about 16 different ideas. Maybe one of those might work.
Only 16? I'm not filling out my brackets until these play-in games are done.
Oh, why? Why wait so long?
Because that's kind of how we set it up for our bracket bash.
Oh, well. You got to go for it now. You got to go start thinking. I think there's going to be a couple of those playing games where a couple of those teams could go a couple rounds. I believe.
I believe it too, but I'm still playing it safe. What you got for us this morning?
Well, let's go through the morning wrap. Morning, Brian, everybody. Welcome to Tuesday, Rusty's Morning Wrap-Up, presented by TCF Bank, the official bank of the Arena Sports Network. Bulls tried to play with one of the best in the West until the fourth quarter. Bulls were outscored 16-1 after they cut the lead down to 1 point. Bulls ended up on the short side in a loss to the Oklahoma City Thunder, 97-85 at the United Center. Bulls coach Tom Thibodeau didn't make a sub in the final 5 minutes. I thought it was some poor coaching out there, to be honest. Taj Gibson and the Bulls led the Bulls with 16 points and 7 rebounds. Jimmy Butler added 13. Carlos Boozer chipped in with 12 and 11 rebounds. Kevin Durant led with a game-high 35. The Bulls will next play at Philadelphia tomorrow night. And, by the way, the 76ers are rolling with one of the longest losing streaks in NBA history.
Yeah.
The numbers going so high you think they're taking it. What are they at, 20, 21 losses?
20.
It's unbelievable.
20.
College basketball. NCAA's first four will begin this evening in Dayton, Ohio. Albany versus Mount St. Mary's, and North Carolina State takes on Xavier. NIT, Minnesota hosts High Point. That'll be coming up here tonight. Illinois opens play, visiting Boston University tomorrow night, while Illinois State hosts Morehead State also tomorrow evening in the College Invitational Tournament. Women's NCAA Tournament, DePaul got a number 7 seed and will play number 10 Oklahoma on Saturday. Top seeded Notre Dame will take on number 16 Robert Morris. Also on Saturday, UIC made the NIT and will host Indiana Purdue Fort Wayne. That'll be coming up tomorrow evening. Blackhawks sitting in the 5th spot in the Western Conference need to make up some ground to get the home ice advantage for the playoffs. Hawks beat the Red Wings the other night at the United Center. Hawks next travel to face the Flyers this evening in Philadelphia. Cactus League Baseball, Cubs split a squad. They beat the LA Angels 4-2, and the other split squad lost to the A's 6-2. White Sox shut out the Brewers an impressive 9-0. Games coming up here today. White Sox host the A's. The Cubs will visit the Rangers. And lastly, Brian, high school basketball here in the state of Illinois, Class 3A, 4A Super Sectionals will take place this evening with the best 8 teams remaining in each class. The winners advance on to the Final Four in Peoria on Friday and Saturday. Rusty Silver for the Arena Sports Network, and don't forget to visit TCF Bank for more information.
High school basketball playoffs are fun.
I can't wait tonight too. I'm headed out to a game this evening myself.
Which one? Which one?
Out in the Hoffman Estates to see North Chicago and or a rematch of last year's.
Are they playing at the Sears Center?
No, they're playing at Hoffman Estates High School.
Okay. Doggone it, I thought they played the Sears Center. Oh, well.
They used to go there.
Yeah.
They used to.
Yeah, that kind of messed me. Okay. All right. Thank you, Rusty. Appreciate it. I'll talk to you soon.
All right, have a good evening. Good day.
That's my buddy Rusty Silber with Rusty's Morning Wrap. Pause for a break. Jeff Escow will ride shotgun with me for the remainder of the show. Talk all things NCAA basketball. And I got a few notes, news and notes when we come back. And then Jeff Escow will ride shotgun with me. This is Snowman in the Morning, driven by U.S. Tire and Auto of Gary, Indiana. You're hearing it live on the Arena Sports Network. Man.
U.S. Tire and Automotive is an official. Looking for a reason to visit U.S. Tire and Auto in Gary, Indiana? Our customers gave us 5 of them. The high standards of quality service and parts, lifetime warranties, a strong business built on honesty and integrity. They've been servicing the Gary community since 1991 and the largest auto and light truck tire dealer in the city of Gary, Indiana. We have a variety of products and services that are instrumental to the health of your car, including our tire fitment guide to help you find the correct size tires for your automobile. Our friendly service staff will quickly outfit your vehicle with a high-quality tire that is right for you. Check out our tire and wheel catalog to give your vehicle the perfect fit. For more information or to schedule an appointment, call 219-884-4600 or visit us online at www.ustire-auto.com.
How do you turn a batter into a hitter? With Slugmaster Hitting Stations. Slugmaster Hitting Stations are the most effective and durable baseball and softball batting practice devices available. Versatile, compact, and easy to use, they are excellent tools for ball player at any skill level. Attached to any pole or post for an instant hitting station. Use it at the ballpark, at home, or anywhere you want to get some hits in. Work the strike zone, top to bottom, in and out. The most complete workout year-round, indoors or outdoors, teams or individuals. Slugmaster equipment is constructed from high-grade steel. The rugged design means years and years of use. Slugmaster equipment is used by youth, high school, college, and professional ball players. For more information or to place your order, call 708-705-7354 or visit slugmaster.com. Slugmaster Baseball and Softball Hitting Aids, turning batters into hitters.
Wake up! Wake up, I said! Snowman in the morning, this morning driven by U.S. Tire and Auto of Gary, Indiana. In the Chicagoland area, they've been servicing the Northwest Indiana and Chicagoland area since 1991. Give my friend Dave McCann a call at 219-884-4600. Abbreviated show today as more moves to be made this morning. Like I said, had a couple of big meetings yesterday. They went very, very well. A couple more this morning, and possibly some more sponsors headed our way. We'll keep you posted on everything that's going on. Speaking of everything that's going on, if you're inside the chat, if you have an account with Spreaker, I should say, jump on with us and chat along with us. My buddy Fitz is back after a couple of days' absence. Ron Murchison joins us this morning. And speaking of joining us, my buddy Jeff Eskow, Sports World Radio, rides shotgun with me for the remainder of the hour. Good morning.
Good morning, Brian. How are you, my friend?
Hyped up, man. I'm hyped up, man.
You sound like you're hyped up, my friend.
Look, I had some great meetings yesterday. Couple spots to take the show on the road, and a couple big meetings this morning. Things are progressing and really getting ready to take off. And I wish the same for you and Sports World Radio, my friend. You do a terrific job.
Thank you very much. Yeah, we're having a lot of fun over there. Now that we expanded the show another hour, we're doing 2 full hours over there. We're having a blast.
That's great, man. That is great. The voice you hear with me is Jeff Eskow of Sports World Radio. Catch him every night, Monday through Friday, 6 p.m. Eastern. SportsWorldRadio.com is where you can find him. All right. Let's have some fun here because I know you saw Selection Sunday. Yeah, you know where I'm going. I know you saw Selection Sunday. I know you saw the brackets being revealed. And I'm just going to give you the floor.
What in the wild world of sports is going on here?
The number 1 seeds, in case you missed it, folks, are Florida, Virginia, Arizona, and the other team I will not mention because it'll piss them off even more. Not good.
That's disgusting.
Oh, but why? All right, I'm being totally facetious when I ask this question. Oh, but why? Why?
Come on.
I know. We had talked.
You knew.
Yes.
You knew they were.
Yes.
You knew they were going to get a number one seed.
And you saw it. Listen, you saw it coming when they walked through the Missouri Valley Conference. Okay.
I
you
could have
saw
walked
it
through
coming.
the Valley Conference.
All right. We'll get to them in a minute. But what do you think of the other 3 number 1 seeds?
I love it. I'm a little shocked with Villanova.
Virginia.
I'm sorry. Virginia.
I'm not.
That's about it.
I'm not shocked at Virginia because when you take out Duke in an ACC championship game and you've had a great season flying under the radar, you're pretty much begging for a number 1 seed.
I'm kind of shocked that Villanova and Syracuse are in the ACC to begin with. I'm still getting grips over that.
Look, I'm so used to them being in the Big East. Period.
Me too. I'm still trying to get grips over that. They left the Big East. That upset me a bit.
Listen, the Big East was about to blow up sideways anyway with all the schools that were in there.
Yeah,
okay.
But I grew up a huge Big East fan. I was around when that thing was built.
Well,
I watched the whole thing happen.
Well, who didn't? I know for a fact I did.
Yeah,
I know for a fact I grew up with the original Big East, and we're talking matchups like Georgetown, Syracuse, St. John's, Villanova, those kind of matchups, man. That's the kind of Big East I grew up with.
Yeah, me too. It was bad, and it was rough, and it was fun to watch back then.
And the divorce between those teams in the Big East was just terrible.
Did you see the Big the Requiem of the Big East 30/30 ESPN yet?
I didn't get a chance to see it.
You have to watch it. If you're a basketball fan and you're a Big East fan, you have to watch it.
Oh, must watch. Okay.
Yes, I saw it. I watched it. In fact, I watched it on ESPN. It was so good they were replaying it on ESPN2, and I went and watched it again.
Nice.
It was really, really good. You have to watch it.
All right. I have to do this.
San Diego State.
San Diego State gets a number 4.
I'm okay with that.
In the tournament. You're okay with that?
Not really, but there's nothing I can do about it. So I'm living with it.
Where did you see them going?
I thought they'd get a 3 seed.
I thought they would get
even a 2 seed.
That's where I was thinking they would go. I thought they'd get a 2 at least.
Because they ended the season in number 8, correct?
Yeah. Yes, they did.
So if you end the season in number 8, doesn't that give you a 2 seed?
You would think. But remember,
that's how I looked at it.
But remember, strange things happen in the NCAA tournament, just as the Georgetown Hoyas in terms of Davidson.
And I was speaking to your good friend, producer boy Josh, yesterday.
Uh-huh.
I asked him his Final Four, and that little dude's got Wichita State in his Final Four, and I'm not happy with him.
I already have my champion picked. I'll reveal that at the end of the week. I already have my champion picked.
I got my Final Four done. I got my whole bracket done. My champion is picked. I'm ready to rock and roll. You'd be surprised. I have one number 1 team in the Final Four.
Only one?
Only one.
I got the feeling we ain't gonna match on that. Fitz with a thought. Notre Dame should not have left the Big East, and he also adds, I told you, Jeff, that Wichita State would get a number 1 seed. And he also adds, oh, boy, I'm going to incite a riot. I'm just a messenger. That San Diego State should have gotten a 6.
Oh, get that flock out of here. No way.
When I'm surprised.
Seed.
You know what?
Hey, Bryant, remember on Friday's show that I said I wanted San Diego State to lose in the tournament before they go to the big tournament?
Yes.
Thank you.
You did call that.
They lost to and believe it or not, that game, the New Mexico San Diego State game, that was the only game televised in the WAC.
Get out of here.
In the Mountain West, I'm sorry. That was the only, I got to watch that game. And I think because I was watching it, they lost. Because I didn't watch any of the other games.
They're not worth watching.
You know what? When my team starts losing, I change the channel.
Yeah.
And I'll go back and I'll see them. Now they're only down by 6. They were down by 16. Now they're only down by. I'm going away. Bye. I do that a lot.
Listen, when Wichita State was revealed as the number 1 seed, this is the only sound that came out of Jeff's mouth.
I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not going to take this anymore.
That's about it.
Okay.
Yeah, it was
we
upsetting,
talked about the who, the where, and the why. Let's take a look at some brackets here. Jeff Escal riding shotgun with me this morning on Snowman in the Morning, and before we get to that, Fitz has his. Wait a minute. Fitz has his final four, and I think we're just going to skip to the conclusion here. Fitz's final four: Florida, North Carolina, Arizona, Louisville.
Huh.
I see 2 question marks in that final four, and one of them is Florida.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Yep. There is
Well,
something. I may be wrong. It won't be the first time I've been wrong in doing brackets. That's why we do these brackets, so we can have fun with them. But my question mark lies with Florida. The ease that they walked through the SEC, it's nothing compared to what Wichita State did in the Missouri Valley. But somebody is going to catch them because they're built on speed. Oh, Lord, are they built on speed. They're built on speed. They can get up and down the floor, and they're very physical. Give them that. Somebody's going to catch Florida.
I kind of like his Florida pick because I got Florida in the Final Four too.
You got Florida in the Final Four? Was that your only number 1 that you have in the Final Four?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
My Final Four? I'll give you my Final Four. I'm not afraid.
Give me your Final Four.
Florida playing Villanova. Louisville playing San Diego State.
How did I know there'd be a hometown influence?
Yeah, I got San Diego State beating Arizona, kids. And I got State beating Wisconsin.
I hate to inform you of this, but San Diego State, as much as I loved watching them, will not beat Arizona.
They're going to go on their run. They played Arizona
Arizona
at the beginning of the year. They know how to play Arizona now. They're going to beat them.
Yeah, but Arizona got stronger. Arizona got better.
Okay,
but it's gonna be a fun game.
Arizona got so much better. They lost to Arizona State.
I wouldn't be surprised if SDSU and Arizona winds up being a 100-point game, though.
Yeah, me neither, because they both run.
I wouldn't be surprised if that ends up a 100-point game. Jeff Escal riding shotgun with me here, talking all things NCAA tournament. On this abbreviated edition of Snowman in the Morning, we are driven by U.S. Tire and Auto of Gary, Indiana. Call my friend Dave McCann at 219-884-4600.
Everybody and their mother is picking Michigan State to win this thing.
I'm not.
I don't get it.
Well,
I just don't get it.
You know what? In a way, I can see it. It's Tom Izzo. Period. It's Tom Izzo.
Yeah, but if you don't have the players, just because you're a great coach, don't mean you can. I don't see it. I watched a lot of Michigan State games. They lost to some bad teams this year.
They damn near lost to Northwestern twice.
No, I know.
They
if you can barely beat Northwestern, how the heck are you going to beat Villanova?
And Villanova has not been a slouch, period.
No,
all year.
And they're the former Big East team. I had to go with a Big East after watching that freaking show.
So Villanova's your Big East pick.
Villanova was because they used to be in the Big East.
Remember when Villanova beat Georgetown?
Yeah,
for the national championship.
They show that on there. They show
Riley
Patrick Ewing choking people, and they show fights. It's a beautiful, beautiful show. It's a must see if you're a basketball fan.
I've got to see it now.
Yeah, it's a must see if you're a fan. You know what? The 2 hours just flies by, dude. You don't even realize.
Oh, it's a full 2 hours.
Yeah, you don't even realize it's 2 hours.
Wow, I didn't realize it.
And they have Raleigh Massimino talking on it, the way he is now. John Thompson, Lou Carnesecca.
Those were coaches, man.
Jim Boeheim. Those were the 4 big coaches back then.
Yep.
Those were the 4 big
horsemen.
Coaches.
Those were the 4 horsemen, to use a wrestling reference. Those were the 4 horsemen.
Yep.
I mean,
I loved watching the Big East back then. Oh, it was beautiful.
You step into a game with any of those 4, you're in for a fight. Period.
Mm-hmm. They had,
And-
you find out who started the Big East,
Right.
why they started the Big East, when they started the Big East, who was in the Big East.
And those
really
four,
cool.
listen, and those four owned the recruiting trails in that area. They absolutely owned the recruiting trails. Because if you had an idea to get a recruit and it was in John Thompson's territory or Raleigh Massimino's territory, forget it.
Yep.
They're going to swoop in and get him before you even
Yeah.
blink.
Remember when Pearl Washington went to Syracuse?
Oh my God, yes.
Yeah, they're all into that.
Yeah. You
Yeah.
know what? I remember, like you said, the old school Big East, man. When CBS had the broadcast rights for the Big East, there was just something about seeing a game when Villanova used to play in the Spectrum for the big games, or seeing a game at Syracuse's Carrier Dome, and seeing how wild the crowds go, and the play of the Big East was just off the charts. All right?
Yeah.
It's off the charts. Period. Now, let's look. I can't,
Look at Fitz.
I can't find
Look
what I
at
want to
Fitz.
find.
Fitz wants to know who I think who's going to win the 4 playing games. Hey, Fitz, it doesn't
All right.
matter because they're going to lose the next game anyway.
That's why I don't look at the play-in games. I'm going to watch them while having a couple this evening.
Yeah, it's the start
what
of it's the start of March Madness
Indeed.
tonight.
Indeed.
So I mean, the basketball from starting
You know what?
from tonight to the end of the
Christmas
Final
morning-
Four, it's basketball.
Yep, this is like Christmas morning because we get to rip open a new March Madness bracket.
Mm-hmm.
That's it's like Christmas morning. Okay,
Basically, from 9 o'clock in the morning my time till like 6 o'clock at night, it's all basketball all day.
That's it.
I love it.
That's it. And I have a
nothing
bet.
but 4 channels.
Just a moment.
Nothing but 4 channels today.
And that's all. That's all that's going to appear for the next 2.5 weeks.
Oh yeah.
I have a bet to live out. Liz and I made a bet, and she picked her champion. I picked mine. If her champion wins, I must wear something with Notre Dame on it and take a picture for y'all to see.
Oh, and if you win,
If my champion wins, she has to wear something with Northwestern on it, and she has to take a picture.
oh Lord.
Look, I already owe her some pancakes from the football season, okay? When the Colts stomped a mud hole in the 49ers' asses, all right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's go through some brackets here. And we're going to start in the South. Florida as the number 1 seed. The most interesting game that I see in this bracket in the South region, actually I see 2 of them. That would be New Mexico and Stanford, and Colorado and Pittsburgh. For a while, Pittsburgh was in the top 5, and then the bottom fell out. Playing in the ACC. What interesting games do you see in the South region?
I like that Pittsburgh Colorado matchup.
Yeah.
I got Pittsburgh winning that game though.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're a better team than Colorado. I've seen more Pittsburgh basketball than I have Colorado basketball.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, living all the way over on the West Coast, I've seen more Pittsburgh, who's on the East Coast, than Colorado, which is really weird to begin with. But I think Pittsburgh's going to win that. In fact, I got Pitt going up against Florida in the next round.
Yeah, that sounds right.
You know,
All right. 2 seed is
I mean, is 8 and 9 really? If you pick the 9 team, is that really an upset?
No, because they're they're supposed to be evenly matched. Kansas, the 2 seed, they'll have Eastern Kentucky in the first round.
That pisses me off. That they're a 2 seed.
And
that really pisses me off.
we already explained that. We already talked about that. Kansas should have been lower than a 2 seed.
Mm-hmm.
They'll have Eastern Kentucky. The winner gets New Mexico, Stanford. And the way my bracket looks, Kansas will play, and I got them playing New Mexico.
Me too.
I got them playing New Mexico. Syracuse and Western Michigan and Ohio State and Dayton fill out the bottom part of the bracket. You know what? I, just for giggles, have Dayton beaten Ohio State.
Really?
This is a pure gut feeling. Period.
After watching Ohio State play over the weekend, that's why I took them. Because during the season, believe it or not, on the the NBC Sports Network, which is my channel 65 over here for me, which used to be the Versus channel. Nice sports network. The Versus channel.
Yeah, I remember.
Minor League of Sports Network. Yeah.
Right.
I watched. They played a lot of Dayton basketball.
Mm-hmm.
That region, a lot on that channel, and I don't know why. So I've seen a lot of Dayton play. I'm not impressed, so that's why I went with Ohio State.
All right. Like I said, this is a pure gut feeling, and also plus this is the NCAA tournament. Hey, folks, don't forget this Saturday, March Madness continues high school style with the Marquette Catholic Blazers playing for a spot in the state championship. They take on Liberty Christian at noon. We'll be up at 11:30 with our pregame show. You can catch it live here on the Arena Sports Network. Jeff Escal, Sports World Radio, riding shotgun with me, talking all things NCAA tournament. We're inside the South region. Virginia Commonwealth and Stephen F. Austin. Shaka Smart has got these boys pissed off.
They play better that way.
Because of everything that was said throughout the course of the week and the weekend leading up to this. Are you surprised UCLA got a 4 seed?
Yes, but that's Alford for you. He's doing one heck of a job at UCLA.
He is.
One hell of a job over there.
And he made them into contenders. Let's go to
but I got them beating Tulsa, and that's Danny Manning's group. And Danny Manning, what a job he's done with Tulsa this year. Holy freaking Toledo.
How about it?
Yeah.
We used to watch these guys.
I got UCLA beating them.
We used to watch these guys shoot for the NCAA championship. Steve Alford in New Orleans and Indiana in '87. Mm-hmm. Danny and the Miracles the next year in Kansas City, pulling off the upset against Oklahoma. Now let's go to the East region. The 1 seed is Virginia. They'll move on. They'll take on the winner. I got them moving on. They'll take on the winner of Memphis and George Washington. You talk about two teams that are even. These two teams are it. But for a slight edge, I'll give to Memphis because of the schedule that they played. 5-12 is Cincinnati and Harvard, and then Michigan State and Delaware. And he upsets
a lot of people are taking Tommy Amaker's Harvard team against Cincinnati.
I'm not surprised. It's Tommy Amaker.
Tommy, what a player he was in Seton Hall, huh?
Duke. He played at Duke. I can tell
Duke,
it's
sorry.
I can tell it's early.
He was the head coach at Seton Hall.
He coached at Seton Hall. I can tell it's early for you. Hey, it's early for me, all right?
Yeah. Well, I just woke up 25 minutes ago.
Right.
I'm doing all this off the cuff, boys. Come on.
Look, totally understood. We both are. You know what? With that Cincinnati-Harvard matchup, I wouldn't be surprised either way.
No, and he did a heck of a job when he was coaching with Seton Hall. Really good job over there.
He turned that program around. 4 seed Michigan State taking on the Blue Hens of Delaware.
Bye, Delaware.
Bye, Delaware.
Yeah, I got Cincy playing Michigan State in the next round.
Okay. Carolina and Providence. Which way are you going? Carolina?
Although I would not be shocked if Providence won.
No, I wouldn't be shocked either. That's where my buddy Ryan Fasikas, who's at Marquette Catholic, he committed to Providence. That's where he will be going after he graduates next year. 3 seed Iowa State taking on one of the surprises of the NCAA tournament. But it's a team I followed for 7 years when their transition into Division I began. Now I've had a chance to see him. That's North Carolina Central, led by Coach Lavelle Moten. I'll tell you what, man. Iowa State better not fall asleep. Iowa State better not fall asleep at the wheel. Because if they fall asleep at the wheel, it's going to be Lob City with North Carolina Central.
Are they big?
Yeah.
They're a big team, huh?
And athletic.
Okay. Well, I'm still going with Iowa State. You didn't change my mind on that one.
Okay. 7 seed UConn and St. Joseph's.
I like this matchup, and I like both teams a lot, and I really like St. Joseph's, but I'm going with Connecticut.
I'm calling the upset. St. Joseph's will beat UConn. And finally, to round out the East bracket, Villanova and Milwaukee. Both of us, I think, are going the same way. I'm going with Villanova.
Well, I got Villanova in the Final Four. I better go with them.
You better go with them. All right, let's take a look at the most interesting bracket in the tournament. That's the Midwest. You know who the number 1 seed is, so we'll skip that. We'll go to the game under them. Kentucky and Kansas State, 8 versus 9 in the Midwest region. How do you look at that one?
I don't think Kansas State be able to deal with Kentucky's big men that they got, even though that
Right.
Kentucky is a young team.
Mm-hmm.
Very young team. I was watching them play. Florida and Calipari did not look happy at all. I think they take care of Kansas State. I don't think they get through Wichita State, though. How about that?
No, I don't think they do either. And here's the thing that we had I talked about this with a couple of folks here. They put Wichita State in the toughest bracket in the tournament to make them test their mettle and prove their worth. They gave them a number 1 seed. Now you got to prove it. It's one of those kind of situations.
Can you imagine they got to play Kentucky and then possibly Louisville and then possibly Duke, or
Yeah.
Are you
Michigan.
kidding me? Or Michigan?
Michigan, because Michigan.
Yeah.
The top 4 seeds in the Midwest are Wichita State, Louisville, Duke, and Michigan, and that's a gauntlet. That's a gauntlet on name recognition alone. Also, given the fact these are good teams. Also, given the fact Louisville's the defending champion. So
if they make it to the Final Four, they deserve it.
Exactly. So who you got coming out of the Midwest? Louisville. So Jeff sees them as having a chance to defend their title. All right, let's go to the West. Top seed is Arizona. They'll take on Weber State. The 8-9 matchup. Here's an 8-9 matchup that is really interesting. Gonzaga and Oklahoma State. With everything that went on with Oklahoma State, they still got in the tournament. Gonzaga coming out of the West Coast Conference. How do you take a peek at that one?
I like Oklahoma State. I like Ford as a head coach. I've watched a lot of Oklahoma State basketball. I've seen lately some Gonzaga hoop. I don't like the way Gonzaga plays. I'm going with Oklahoma State. I think Oklahoma State's going to run them out of the gym.
I'll lean that way also. Speaking of Oklahoma, they're the number 5 seed. They'll take on 12 seed North Dakota State. And then your beloved Aztecs will take on New Mexico State. I want you to break down the Oklahoma North Dakota State for me really quick.
I think Oklahoma, again, they're big. They got some great jump shooters. They have an inside game. They play great defense. I see them easily handling North Dakota State. San Diego State, that's a different story because San Diego State is big. They got an excellent point guard. Watch out. So that's going to be a good matchup, Oklahoma and San Diego State. So I'm looking forward to that game.
So that second round will be Oklahoma and San Diego State according to our picks. Let's look at the bottom part of the bracket. Baylor and Nebraska, 6 versus 11. You know what? I smell upset alert on this game.
You know, I had a hard time making this pick.
Who'd you go with?
I went with Baylor, but I might change it. I have until later on. Till when? I have until the 20th to change mine.
I went with Nebraska. I covered the Big Ten.
I didn't see a lot of Nebraska ball.
I covered the Big Ten this year. Nebraska didn't start off very well, but midpoint of the season, they got hot. And they really made a good showing in the in the Big Ten tournament. Excuse me. So now they get a chance to show what they have in the NCAAs. I have Nebraska upsetting Baylor.
Isn't this a Nebraska? Where are they, in the Big Ten or the Big 12?
They're in the Big Ten.
Now they're in the Big Ten. Weren't they in the Big 12 before?
Yes.
Right. So I watched a lot of Baylor and Nebraska play. Because when I was living in Kansas City, that was Big 12 country.
Yes.
So I watched those guys play a lot of basketball. So this is actually an old rivalry, these two.
Yeah,
they used to match up and play twice a year when they were both in the Big 12. So this is a good matchup, but I am going with Baylor.
All right. You used to live in Kansas City. You ever been in Kemper Arena?
Yeah.
I did a game in there. I had a chance to do a game inside Kemper Arena. That was 2002 when I was covering Chicago State many, many moons ago. Creighton and Louisiana Lafayette, and then Oregon and BYU in the middle part of that bracket. Potential second round matchup, Baylor and Creighton. How interesting.
That's who I have matching. That's exactly the matchup I have.
But Creighton may also see Nebraska.
It doesn't matter. I think I don't think Nebraska's going to beat Baylor, and even if they do, I got Creighton moving to the next round anyway.
Here's my question about Creighton. Who is going to step up and help Doug McDermott?
Creighton. What a name for a basketball team.
What? Well, there was a former tight end with that as his last name. But who's going to help Doug McDermott in terms of scoring?
They better find somebody.
Yeah, because he's carried them all year. Oregon and BYU and Wisconsin and American will finish out the top part of the. We'll finish out the bracket. Period.
Well, American, what college is that?
They're in Washington D.C.
American
University. Do you know what their nickname is?
No.
The Eagles.
American. What the heck? American.
Yeah.
What the heck is...
That's what.
When they said that on Sunday, I was like, what college is that? I bet you Wichita State could beat them.
Oh man, fits of thoughts. Scott Drew of Valparaiso, Indiana boy, whom I know very well, along with his dad, will have Baylor ready. I don't doubt that he'll have Baylor ready, but there's something clicking in my head about Nebraska.
I hate that court that Baylor plays on. I can't stand that.
It's ugly.
It drives me crazy.
It's
and
ugly.
the same thing with the Oregon Ducks basketball court.
Don't get me started. Don't get me started.
God.
Potential second round matchup: Oregon and Wisconsin.
That's my matchup. I have that matchup in the third round, quote unquote, second round, whatever the heck.
For me. It's a second round. It'll
second
always
round.
be the second round.
You.
Oregon and Wisconsin. Which way you leaning?
I got Wisconsin in that game.
Same here. Same here. Let's look at some more potential second round matchups. You mentioned one that could be interesting.
How about a third round possible matchup?
All right.
Possible. Okay.
Possible. Who we got?
Wichita State and Louisville.
Let's see. Plenty of Pepsi on hand. Plenty of Mountain Dew on hand. Because you're gonna need the caffeine. You're gonna need the energy with those if those two hook up.
You get some big run, and more run.
Yeah, it's gonna be a 200-point game with Wichita State.
And the way Louisville's playing right now, Wichita State's in a bit of a trouble.
Yeah. I don't think
I don't have them going. I don't have them beating Louisville. I have them losing right there.
I don't think Wichita State can get beyond Louisville if they were to match up. If those two wind up hooking up, I do not see Wichita State beating Louisville.
Okay, if they end up not matching up and just say Wichita State gets there, you think Louisville's going to lose to St. Louis or Manhattan?
Hell no.
Oh. So I that's why I have Louisville. Louisville's got the easier road, if you think about it.
True.
If you think about it, because they're opening up against Manhattan, and then they got to possibly play St. Louis.
Or they could possibly see Carolina State or Xavier.
Right, and then Wichita State or Kentucky.
I think what's going to help Louisville is their defense. What's going to help Louisville is going to be the same thing that carried them all the way to the title in Atlanta last year, and that's their defense.
And Russ is starting to play some ball now.
Yes, he is.
He knows that this is the time of the year. He's starting to turn it on a lot more now.
Oh, you've seen that too?
Yeah. I watched Louisville. I'm a big Rick Pitino fan.
So am I. I had a chance to meet his son at Big Ten Media Day. Just like Pops. Fun to talk to.
Right. A lot of the guys, the pros or the analysts are calling for Wichita State and Louisville in the finals. An all-Italian final. Pitino and Izzo.
Yow.
How crazy would that be, huh?
Let's go back to the East. Here's a potential second round matchup: North Carolina and Iowa State.
North Carolina, and that's the matchup I have.
Mm-hmm.
North Carolina versus Iowa State. Okay, who was in here earlier? Fitz. Here you go, Fitz. I got I got Iowa State beating North Carolina.
You better switch that around.
No.
I
got Iowa State beating North Carolina. There's one of my upsets. Even though it's not an upset because Iowa State's a 3 seed.
Iowa State's a 3 seed, yeah. But at the same time, for me, I see Carolina beating Iowa State. Iowa State will get past North Carolina Central. But you know what? This is what makes it all so fun. As I said earlier in the show, Iowa State better not fall asleep at the wheel with North Carolina Central. And I think
$1 billion bracket time, baby.
Yeah, And I think this game is in San Antonio, from what I'm told.
Do they have any NCAA tournament games in Chicago this year?
No, they don't.
They got them out here in San Diego. I'm working on my press pass as we speak.
Did you get it yet?
Yeah, I'm hoping to hear.
I hope you get it, man, because I've been to a couple tournament games at the United Center. Man, that's some fun stuff.
If I get it, I'm there. There ain't no radio shows. I'm at the basketball game. Sorry.
Why would we be surprised? Why don't you do Can you do a show from the?
I'm sure I could.
Where would they play? What arena are they playing in?
They would play at not. I think they would play either at the Cox Arena, where the Aztecs play, or they would play in the Viejas Arena downtown.
The Cox Arena, how many does that hold?
18,000.
Nice.
Yeah, it's beautiful. The only bad thing about it.
What's that? It just looks like on television. It just looks like a shot glass.
Yeah, that's basically what it is. It's a shot glass because the steps start from the top and they go straight down. There's no break in them or nothing. Straight down.
It's one big mezzanine.
Yeah, pretty much. But it's beautiful. There's not a bad seat in the house.
No, there isn't.
I've sat all over that place. Not a bad seat in the house.
Imagine sitting press row.
I love it.
You better take some pictures, man.
Oh yeah.
If you get that press pass, you better take some pictures.
Oh, I will. Right? I will. And I'd hop on the trolley. It's a 10-minute trolley ride. I wouldn't even take my car.
Nice. Very nice.
Yeah, it cost me $3 round trip.
Right.
Gave me money in parking.
Exactly. Jeff Escow riding shotgun with me here on Snowman in the Morning, talking all things NCAA tournament. I'll tell you another arena that looked like a shot glass when you looked at it on television. Remember when they built Bud Walton Arena in Arkansas? Mm-hmm. It's the same way.
Yeah, it's a bowl.
It's one big bowl. That's all it is. Hell, that's Michigan Stadium, for God's sakes.
Yeah, but not a bad seat in the house at Cox Arena.
Right.
What a name for arena.
Right.
Cox Arena.
I wasn't going to go there, but you beat me to it.
Well, that's Cox Cable for you, man.
Yeah, it is. Yeah,
they built the freaking thing. We're going to name it after us.
There you go.
Now I think they actually changed the name. I believe it's called the Viejas Arena, which is one of the casinos up here by the Indians.
Right. Let's look at another potential second-round matchup. I think we spoke of this briefly, but let's come back to it as we come down the stretch here. Possibly Virginia and Memphis in the second round in the East region. And you got Villanova coming out of the East. So there's a chance Villanova could meet Virginia in the final.
Right.
In the East region.
Virginia, Memphis, I got Virginia moving on.
I do too. There's something, you know what, like I said this about a couple teams. Virginia got hot at the right time, and they played their way into a number one seed by beating Duke in the ACC tournament.
Mm-hmm. The game I'm looking forward to see, if possible, is the Virginia-Michigan State game.
Wow.
That's the game I'm looking forward to. Yes.
And that would be a regional semifinal.
Yeah, that'd be Sweet 16 game. Yeah.
Now, everything that starts tonight will culminate April 5th and 7th at AT&T Stadium in Dallas. You better not buy a seat that has a pole in front of it. The last thing that Jerry Jones needs is another incident like Super Bowl 45, and I will leave it at that.
Better not be sitting in the last row of that stadium, otherwise you'll be watching it on the screen.
If you can see the doggone screen.
Well, you should be able to see it sitting in the last row of the stadium. You won't be able to see him on the court.
If you can see the doggone screen.
That's ridiculous.
That's all I got to say. If you can see the doggone screen. Here's a question. Do you think they can put 100,000 in there this year?
He's going to try. He's going to try. You can get more seats for a basketball game than you can for a football game.
Because for basketball, when they played the NBA All-Star game, they fit 108 in there. For the Super Bowl, they got 103.
He's going to try.
How about I didn't do a question of the day, and I'm gonna post this right now. In fact, I'll post this after the show, and I'll get you guys' thoughts. Question of the day, presented by Gigahertz, goes like this. Will there be 100,000 people in Dallas at AT&T Stadium for the Final Four?
And how many of them will be sitting behind poles?
How many will be sitting behind? Here's a better question. Will they have the wherewithal to climb all the way up there?
If my ticket's behind a pole, I am fit to be tied.
Yeah.
I'm telling you right now. I walk into that stadium and my seat's behind a pole. Where's Jerry Jones?
I'm heading right for a suite. I'm heading
I
right
paid
for the suite.
$200 for this seat, and all I can see is rivets. Get the heck out of here!
How do you think those people felt during the Super Bowl?
God, I would have
when he hosted it there. Do you think that happened when they did the All-Star game there in 2010?
Didn't hear about it though.
Here's the thing with that particular stadium. Notre Dame and Arizona State had 100,000 for their game last year. Well, yeah. Oh yeah, it's there's going to be 100,000 people in there. I see it now.
Oh, I would not be surprised if he sets an NCAA Final Four record or Finals record.
You know what? They set the record last year in attendance with 74,000 in the Georgia Dome. This is AT&T Stadium in Dallas. This is Jerry World. Everybody is going to be cramming their asses in there to try to get the best seat in the house.
Unbelievable. We're going to have the best seat in the house.
I'll be parked in front of the television. Liz and I will be. Listen, Liz and I will be parked in front of the television with snacks surrounding us, and we ain't moving. Period.
That's the best seat in the house because you get to see everything, and you actually get to hear the game.
Yeah, and you get to switch between.
That's the one thing I miss.
What's that?
That's the one thing I miss about going to games.
What's that?
You don't bring your radio. You don't get to hear it.
Oh, that's why Liz and I are going to listen to the Westwood One call. We already made that deal.
Growing up, we always listened to the commentators doing the game. If you can't hear the commentator, that's why I don't like going to live games, because I can't hear the commentators. I got to do it in my head. That kind of stinks.
That's the thing. That's the thing with me too. And Liz has become the same way. Since she rode shotgun with me doing a couple of football games. When she listens to the radio call of like a football or a basketball game, now with TuneIn, which is where you can find us on Arena Sports Network as well, we find different games and listen to them, and she'll have this checklist, and she does the same checklist with me when she listens to my games. Did you hit this? Did you hit this? Did you hit this? So that's what we'll do. We want to listen to the radio call of the Final Four, and we'll have the television like right in front of us. That's what we'll do.
How bad is the delay from the radio to what you're seeing?
The worst delay from radio to television that we've had would be like 5 to 7 seconds.
Wow.
And it's either
that's not too bad.
It's either 5 to 7 seconds in front or in back.
Yeah,
because
the
play may happen on radio before it happens on television, but the best delay was like 2 to 3 seconds. And that was when we listened last year. We watched the games, and then we listened with the good folks at Westwood One when they did when they did the tournament.
See, I like listening. So what I'll do sometimes is I'll turn the TV up really loud while I'm working on my computer, and I won't even watch it. I'll just listen to the guys.
Yeah,
because I want to hear what they're saying and how they're saying it and all that. Being a broadcaster, that's what I listen for.
That's the same thing I listen for, and Liz has gotten into that habit too. Liz has gotten
into that
habit
to get into.
It is. It's a great habit to get into. For those of us that are in the broadcasting field, and those of you who want to get into the broadcasting field, that's the first thing that you need to do is start listening to different announcers. That way you can develop your own routine. That way you can develop your own methods. Because for years I listened to Jim Durham do Bulls games, and that's how I got started doing basketball.
Yeah, I grew up listening to Marv Albert.
There you go. Couple of legends right
one of
there.
the best in the world. Yeah. So that's what, I mean, that's why that's the only reason why I listen to him with the volume up.
Yeah.
Just to hear what the announcers are saying, how they're saying it, and how they're using their inflections to say it.
Yeah.
That's why I listen.
I'll tell you what, when Liz and I did a game with Roosevelt University last year, they played Holy Cross down in South Bend, Indiana. And we're getting set up. Liz is setting up the equipment for me, and she says, Brian, there's one phrase you need to use. I said, what's that, honey? She says, when someone hits a three for Roosevelt, you got to use Slick Leonard's phrase, which, of course, is, boom, baby. So, sure enough, it stuck in my head, and the first three that went down, I said it the rest of the game, and every time I got more excited when a three went down, she turned and looked at me and had this big smile, and she says, I got you this time. I said, you know what? Screw it. I'll carry it with me. And Fitz, I'll make you this promise. You tune in Saturday, I will be using that phrase also. And, of course, Hall of Famer Bobby Slick Leonard, the partner of Mark Boyle of the Indiana Pacers Radio Network. That's Slick Leonard's phrase. Jeff Escow riding shotgun with me this morning, getting ready to close up shop because Snowman still has some work to do and some deals to turn over. So, Jeff, I thank you very much for riding shotgun with me, my friend. It was great, and I'd love to have you with me tomorrow.
You bet, my friend.
All right.
Same
thanks.
time?
Same bat time, same bat channel.
You got it, my friend.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it, man.
Talk to you tomorrow.
Talk to you tomorrow. Jeff Escow, Sports World Radio, joining me. And as I mentioned, this is an abbreviated show because, man, I got a lot of stuff we need to do for ASN, and in particular getting ready for a tournament game tomorrow featuring the UIC women's team hosting IPFW. That'll be at 7 p.m., and our pregame will start at 6. A lot of stuff going on, so we'll keep you posted on everything that's going on here. Now, let me close with this message. Get into some good habits. Jeff and I just talked about it a moment ago. Be it professional habits, be it personal habits. There's nothing that says you cannot change your habits from bad to good. Not a thing at all. I was talking to my friend Tracy Heiser yesterday, who helped me open ASNSportsTravel.com, which is now live, and you can go to ASNSportsTravel.com, book your vacation, and get paid for it. There's a lot more to tell about that. But as I was saying, get into some good habits. There's nothing that says you cannot change your habits. All right? You could have had a bad habit for 20, 30 years. There's nothing that says you can change it. It's up to you to have the wherewithal to change it, and the gall, the balls, the nuts, and the nerve to say, hey, I'm leaving the past behind, period. I'm doing what I need to do to make my life better. And every day you should strive to change something that happened in your past, or change a habit, that happened in your past that would make you better. That's what I'm doing each day, because I can tell you I had some bad habits, and there are some that I'm still getting rid of. Okay? There are still some that I am getting rid of as a person and as a CEO. But there's nothing that says you cannot get better. There's nothing that says you cannot correct the mistakes that you made before, as long as you have the nerve to correct them, as long as you have the nerve to make yourself better. Make yourself better today. And when you make yourself better in a way today, other people will see it. Except people that are just absolutely blind and love to hold on to the past and try to hold it over your head. Don't deal with those people. All they'll try to do is bring you down. Don't be around them. Don't be around them to let them bring you down. Be around people that'll help lift you up. That's what we need to do. Lift each other up, folks. Don't tear each other down.
That's it, man. Game over, man. Game over.
Oh, man. Wasn't that great, kid?
The ASN Digest comes your way in a couple of hours. You'll hear all of the updates going on with the Arena Sports Network. Hey, folks, the ASN Sports Travel website is live. Book your vacations through us, save some money, and you can get paid for traveling as well. Thank you, Jeff Escow, for joining me. Thanks to all the folks in the chat room that joined me as well. Thank you to my staff, and thanks, everybody, for listening. I love you all very dearly, and I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Have a great day. God bless. Remember to make your next move your best move. So long, everybody.